again. Right. So yeah. So we use something called a setter now. Let me quickly. I don't know what happens here. Right. Okay. Yeah. So set marks, we can use it for this. Like we can use this constructor, and then we can use the setter later to set marks, right? And can someone tell me what will happen here now? S1, I'm going to pass the values from the constructor, right? And also I will use this set marks method and do something like this. So can someone identify what happens here? So what will be the average? Is it for these three, or the average will be calculated for these three? What do you think? මේ තියෙන තුනට the average calculate වෙන්නේ, එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ තියෙන තුනටද? Yes? What do you think? Yeah. Anyone quickly? දැන් අපි construct එකනොත් යවනවා මේකට values තුනක්. ඊට පස්සේ අපි ඒ object එකේම set1 method එක call කරනවා. මොකද වෙන්නේ? Yes, we have answers. Let's see. Okay, for 70, 80 and 90. Hari. So one says for these three, the average will be calculated. Others, what do you think? No, you are not answering. Just give answer like two options, right? Okay, three options. Let's say, okay, this will, I mean, the average will be given for these three or these three. So two options, and someone can say, okay, this is giving an error. This won't work. Yes, what do you think? Quickly. Okay. 88, 65, 76. Okay. Others, quickly. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. අනිතත් කියන්න. තව එක්කෙනෙක් කියන්න බලන්න. මොකද තුනෙන් දෙකයිනේ තියෙන්නේ. තුනෙන් දෙකයි තියෙන්නේ. තව එක්කෙනෙක් කියන්න බලන්න. හරියට කියයිද කියලා බලන්න. Yes, quickly. Okay. Okay, great. Yes, so the majority is correct, right? From three answers, two are correct. Yes, this will happen. Yes, it's obvious, right? So ADT, this will be passed first. So what will happen? This constructor will be called, right? And the maths marks, physics marks, chemistry marks will be assigned. And to be specific, these marks will be assigned. But in the second line, what we are doing, right? So we call the set marks. That's a member of this class, right? ඒකත් මේ ක්ලාස් එකේම member function එකක්. ඉතින් මොකද වෙන්නේ? ආයේ values තුනක් එවනවා 70 80 90 කියලා. ඒ values තුන කාටද දෙන්නේ? ආපහු maths physics chemistry. ඉතින් අර කලින් දාපු values තුන replace වෙනවා. right? කලින් දාපු values තුන replace වෙනවා. right? කලින් දාපු values ටික replace වෙනවා. නේද? බලමු run කරලා. right? So it's working, right? So 70, 80, 90. So the average for these things will be like some other value, right? But average for this one, you can see it correctly, and it's 80, 70, 80, 90. So average will be 80. Understood, right? Got the idea, right? Okay. Right, great. Okay, so then Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Okay, now so what you want to get highlighted here is that you can have more than one constructor, right? And basically we have two main types. First one is the default constructor, and the other types are, now this is default constructor and these are called parameterized constructor. You can have only one default constructor. Default constructor doesn't take any arguments or doesn't take any parameters. It just like a default one. If you are not passing any value when the object is created, then the default constructor will be called. So you may have a question: is it necessary to have a default constructor since since there is no use of the default constructor, right? You may have a problem. So actually no use of having a default constructor. So do we need to include it in our code? Default constructor කිසිම තේරුමක් නැහැ තිබ්බා කියලා මොකද values එවන්න නැති හින්දා. ඒකින්ද අපි code එකේ දාන්න ඕනද? Oh, you have to. Like that's a standard, and sometimes it like act as a, if you don't put a default constructor, in some cases you might get you might get an error for some applications. For like inheritance, the topic that we are going to discuss next. So in inheritance, there is a specific thing that you have to have always. You have to have a default constructor. So when you are creating the class, just include a default constructor. So if you are wondering what we need to include inside a default constructor, just make the data members, all the data members into their default values, right? Just make the data members into their default value. So that's what you can do in the constructor, the default constructor. That's what you can do, right? So something to remember, that when you are going to create a class, definitely you have to have a default constructor, definitely. So inside the default constructor, you can make the data members to 0, right? And when it comes to parameterized constructor, you can have multiple parameterized constructors, right? So constructor is when you have parameters inside the constructor, right? So if you have parameters inside the constructor, that's called a parameterized constructor. But what happens is that when you use a parameterized constructor, as I mentioned, you can have multiple parameterized constructor. What you have to do is you have to just change the parameter list, right? By changing the parameter list, you can obtain more parameterized constructor as per your requirement, right? And the thing is, now if a parameterized constructor like this, so if a parameterized constructor, let's say it takes only the name, right? The marks are not taken. So in that case, what you have to do is we can have something called setters, but that's not a special type. Setter is again a member function. Setter කියන්නේ නිකන් member function එකට කියන නමක්. Setter එක මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ? දේ setter එකෙන් අපිට පුළුවන් main එකෙන් classes ඇතුළට values යවන්න, right? So setter basically, now you can take maths marks, physics marks, chemistry marks and assign it to the data members. But the thing is here, don't think that this is a constructor. No, this is normal. This is a general member function. This is also a general member function, nothing new, right? This is also a general member function, but keep that in your mind, right? Okay, so that's pretty much it. And yeah, so what you can do is set marks and pass marks, so cal average and print details. So then anyway, if you want to set the change the marks of the math, physics, chemistry, you can use this kind of a setters and get it done, right? Understood? So that's what it about, like the constructor. So simply those are the constructors. If you compare it simply like this. Okay, understood. Right, so now let me quickly okay, so usually how many weeks are there for your one semester? Is it like considered as hours? Yes. How many weeks per your semester? I mean, for each subject. Do you have any idea about that? No. Yes. No idea. How many hours or how many weeks per subject per semester?
So it's depend on the credits for the
Okay, okay.
semester.
Okay, so do we have any
That's
idea about this subject? How many hours?
no, sir.
Okay, right. So, yeah. So I better ask it from Miss Samantha. I will ask it.
It is there in the student handbook.
The module outline. Yeah, yeah. I will check. Don't worry. I will check it. Okay, right. So now we are going to move to a topic called uh, yeah. Yeah, a topic called inheritance, right? Inheritance. So this is a very important topic, and I mean a major topic available in object-oriented programming, right? A major topic available in object-oriented programming called inheritance. So don't get confused and don't think that much. So inheritance is basically like what we do in inheritance is that from a currently existing class, we are going to create a new class, right? So when we are going to create a new class from an already existing class, that's called inheritance, right? That's what you call inheritance. So creating a new class from an already existing class, right? Already existing class. Okay. Right. So right. And so do you have any idea about what this inheritance, I mean the term inheritance means? මොකක්ද මේ inheritance කියලා කියන්නේ? මොකක්ද inheritance කියන එකේ තේරුම? හා? කවුරු හරි දන්නවද? Do you have any idea about what inheritance is? I mean the meaning of inheritance? Yes? Anyone? Yes? Do you have any idea? You even can search it in the internet. But anyway, inheritance is what? Again, yes. Can you search it and identify what inheritance is? No. Any idea? පොඩ්ඩක් දරුණු තේරුමක් දෙන්න inheritance. Yes. Hmm? Idea තියනද මොකක් හරි? Inheritance. Right? Inheritance is actually called the like උරුමය, දායාදය. Right? යකන් ඒ වගේ දෙයක්. ඒ කියන්නේ පවුලෙන් හම් වෙන දෙයක් වගේ. උරුම වෙන දෙයක්. Right? තාත්තගෙන් පුතාට හම් වෙන දෙයක්. නැත්නම් සීයාගෙන් පුතාට හම් වෙන. අන්නේ පරම්පරාවෙන් හම් වෙන ඒ වගේ ටිකක් දරුණු තේරුමක් තියෙන inheritance කියන එකට. Right? පොඩ්ඩක් එහෙම දෙයක් තමයි inheritance කියන්නේ. Right? ඉතින් මේකෙත් ඒ ටොපික් එක මේ කතා කරන්න තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේ සිමිලර් අයිඩියා ඒ වගේම අයිඩියාවක් තමයි උරුම වෙන දෙයක් දායාද අන්න ඒ වගේම අයිඩියා එකක් තමයි තියෙන්නේ මේ object oriented programming වලත් inheritance වලට. Right? Hari. So here it says inheritance allow us to define a class in terms of another class, right? So it's like creating, as I mentioned earlier, creating a class from a already existing class, creating a new class in terms of already existing class. දැන්ට තියෙන class එකකින් class එකක් ඇසුරෙන් අලුත් class එකක් හදනවට තමයි අපි කියන්නේ inheritance කියලා. Right? Inheritance. තේනවා දැන්ට තියෙන එකෙන් අලුත් එකක් හදනවා. Right? එතකොට ඕකේ මෙහෙම දෙයක් තියෙනවා. දැන්ට තියෙන class එකට අපි කියනවා base class එක කියලා. එහෙම නැත්නම් අපි කියනවා parent class එක කියලා. Right? Then the existing class is called base class or the parent class, and the new class is called the derived class or the child class. අපි කියනවා දැන්ට තියෙන class එකට අපි කියනවා base class එක එහෙම නැත්නම් parent class එක. අලුතෙන් ඒක ඇසුරෙන් අලුතෙන් හදන class එකට අපි කියනවා derived class එහෙම නැත්නම් child class කියලා. Right? So as I mentioned, this is a very useful and a very important topic, and a major topic comes under object-oriented programming, right? So simply don't worry about anything. Simply this is saying, okay, from an already existing class, when a new class is created, so that's called inheritance, right? So there are lots of, advantages of using inheritance. That means, when you are going to create a new class from an already existing class, it has lots of advantages, and the code is very easy when you are going to, like, without creating the whole new class, if you can inherit a class from another class, it would be quite easy. Okay, so shall we go to the code that we are familiar, and then we will try to inherit another class from that class, right? Okay, so this is the class that we created. So I will just now I will remove these things, right? I will only keep the default construct, and these setters and everything will be deleted, right? So I just remove the unnecessary thing and clean the code, right? So then here also I remove these unnecessary constructors, and the default constructor can be kept. Yeah, so I removed all the other things, right? So we have cal average, print details, student, and those are the things that we have, right? Right, okay. Okay, so now we have an already existing class. What's the already existing class, right? This is the student class, right? So in the student class, simply we will do something like this. So student class is simple like this. So what it does simply is we have 5 data members, name, a string type name, math, chemistry, physics, and average. So these are float values. And we have a function to calculate the average, and we have a function to print all the details, and we have a constructor which takes the name, math marks, physics marks, and the chemistry marks, and we have a default constructor. That's what we have in this class. So very simple class, right? And average is calculated like adding them up and dividing 3, and printing all the details like this. And in the parameterized constructor, we take the name, math, physics, and chemistry from the main, and assign into the respective members, the data members. And the default constructor simply what it does is basically it set all the data members to their default, right? This set the data members to their default values, right? So very simply, we have a class, right? So if we go to this one and if we draw the class, I mean the structure simply, so it will be something like this. Let me use another color. Right. So this is our student class. Let me student, and so we will use this as a base class, base or a parent, base or parent class. And what this has simply is this set of things, right? So let me get it here a bit to this side. Okay. And yeah, so this has a, it has a name, math, physics, chemistry, and average. And it has a cal average, and it has print details. Right? So name, math, physics, chemistry, cal average, and print details. Right? So those are the things that it has. Right? Those are the things that it has. Okay. Right. I'll do a small right. So I will do a small modification here. I don't print the chemistry, maths, physics, max, right? So I don't print it here, right? So let me, yeah. So I do a small modification. I just remove the math, physics, chemistry. So I just print the name and the average. That's all, right? That's all I print. Only the name and the average. That's all, right? So that would be enough. Okay, so I made a modification, right? So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a class from this existing class, right? මේ ක්ලාස් එකෙන් මම තව ක්ලාසයක් හදලා දැන් මේ ක්ලාස් එකෙන් තව ක්ලාසයක් හදන්න නම් ඒකට පොඩි තියෙන්න ඕනේ පොඩි මේ requirements ටිකක් satisfy වෙන්න ඕනේ. කියන්නේ දැන් මේ ක්ලාස් එක ඇසුරෙන් හැදෙන එකක් වෙන්න ඕනේ ඒක. මේ ක්ලාස් එක ඇසුරෙන් හැදෙන එකක් වෙන්න ඕනේ. මේ ක්ලාස් එකට සම්බන්ධ එකක් වෙන්න ඕනේ, right? මම මෙහෙම දෙයක් හදන්න මට හිතන්නකෝ. So let's see that let's assume that you want a class to create like a class called university student, right? University student, right? So what you can do is you can create that university student separately, right? මට මෙන්න මේ වගේ class එකක් හදාගන්න ඕනේ. මම මෙතනින් ලියන්නම් ඒක. I want a class like this. So let's assume that I need a class like called a university student. Right? a class called uni student. So we have a class called student, but what I need here is to create a class called uni student, right? A class called uni student. So what I expect to be there is I need to have a name, right? And like usually, how many subjects you are following per semester? One semester, how many subjects you are following? Huh? Don't know.
8. 8.
8. My God, 8 subjects per semester. Really? Okay. So how usually how many months are there for a semester?
6 months.
6 months, right? My God. Okay.
Okay, nama kata.
Okay, right. So let's say okay, now I want to have let's say only 5 subjects are there, just assume, right? So marks of 5 subjects,
Nada,
right?
dah nak
Marks of
kita mana?
5 subjects, right? So name, marks of 5 subjects, and average you need to have, right? Average you need to have, like, and the result score for that semester. Oh, sorry, not the result score. Sorry, the GPA. Sorry. GPA for that semester.
ඔයාව ඔය ස්ක්‍රීන් එකේ ඒගොල්ලන්ට බලන්න පුළුවන්. ඒගොල්ලන්ටත් ඔයාගේ කනෙක්ෂන්
Right.
එකෙන් ඔයාව බලන්න පුළුවන් ගයින් එක.
So
නෑ කියන්නේ.
now shall I mute?
දැන්
Right. So average marks and the GPA for this semester. Right. Average marks and the GPA for this semester. Right. Name, marks of 5 subjects, average marks, GPA. Right. GPA is already also there. GPA of that semester. Right. GPA of that semester, and thereafter now GPA, right? So GPA of that semester, and yeah, so that's pretty much everything that I need, right? And I need to have functions. In terms of functions, let's say I write them here. Like I need to have a function for calculating the average. Right? I need to have a function to calculate the GPA, right? I want to have a functions to calculate the GPA, right? And I want a function to have the print details, right? So cal average, cal GPA, and print details, right? So now, right? So yeah. So this is another class, and that's another class. Student is another class, and unit student is another class, right? So without any doubt or without any issue, you can create these two as separate classes, right? You can create these as separate classes. Definitely you can create it as separate class, right? And simply, right? But what you can do is that without creating it as a separate class, right? We can do something called inheritance. We can do some called inherit, right? So the thing is that you can see that we have common things like in these two classes, right? So shall I highlight them? You have a name here. This also university student has also a name, right? And it has an average. Yes, it has average. And this has cal average and print details. So this also has cal average and print details, right? So you can see these are common to each classes. That means like, okay, the thing is you can create this university student class separately. It's quite fine, right? So if you are going to do it separately, well, I mean, you can, what you have to do is, you can do it simply like this. Have a header file, right? Call uni student. The header file uni student. So most probably I can get a few things from here. I can change this to uni student, and these things like subject one, right? So you have a cal average, uni student, name, sub one, and uni student CPP. And uni student like average, right? So how, let me take it here. So average, simply we can calculate it like sub one, subject two, subject three, plus subject four, plus subject five, plus subject six, sorry, not six, five, and divide by five. And name and average can be printed. And yeah, so so you have to have another function, let's say cal GPA, let's say. Now I'm not yeah, anyway, now cal GPA, simply how it's done, I will change these here as well. We are taking subs float. Right. So GPA calculation should be done separately, like right. So here I can take sub 1, sub 2, sub 3. We can take these parameters from the main. So in the default constructor, you can make them 0 like this. And the cal GPA, the GPA is actually not calculated like this, right? But I will use a simple method, right? I will only use the average if average is less than 35. GPA is let's say, now this is not how the GPA is actually calculated.
So it's to be get the grade and point the values to grades.
Yes, exactly. That's how you do it. But for now, since it take time, I will get the average, right? I will consider only the average.
Yes, sir. Shall we point some marks for the average?
Yeah. So GPA, like let's say average, consider it should be done like for individual subject, but I will get the average here and assign it. So let's say if the GPA, I mean, if the average is less than 35, let's say the GPA is 0, right? And else if GPA, sorry, average is in between, I mean, if the average is less than, then let's say like 45. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so we will have some dummy values here, right? So don't get worried here. This is not the actual way of doing it, right? GPS y equal, let's say 1. This don't, as I mentioned earlier, now this is just a sample calculation. This is not how it's done, right? Since it takes time, I just assign some dummy values. That's all. It's done to the grade of individual subject. Like, okay. Right. The sample calculation. So this is not the correct way to do this. I got the average, and depending on the average, I decided the GPA. But this is not how. I just wanted to include a GPA here. That's what I wanted, right? So if we consider this with the, I mean, the normal student, what are the difference? What are different things that the average calculation is different? We have another cal GPA function to calculate the GPA, and we have yeah. Let me use another, like the GPA is also can be printed here. Right. Yeah. So we take 5 marks of the 5 subjects and assign it, and that's what it is about, right? So simple, very simple, nothing new, only few modifications than the normal student class, right? So now yeah, so now what I can do here is that I can create a I'll open the uni student edge, right, and create a uni student object by passing some values like so I can use the cal average, cal GPA, okay. Now let me check whether, yeah, a cal GPA is included, right? Right. Okay. Yeah. So pretty much everything is done. So shall we run this and see whether it's working? Okay, Rami. Now then you can see the recorded video later. Yeah. The thing is, we have to pass some other values as well, right? 5 values. Yeah, so it says GPA is 3.6, average is this one, right? So it's perfectly working, right? Now this is not inheritance, right? So don't think that this is the inheritance. What we did was we just created 2 independent classes, right? So we just created 2 independent classes. That's what we did, right? We didn't do anything other than creating 2 new classes. This is not inheritance. We just created 2 independent classes and Get it? So I mean, this is what universe student about. So we have 5 data members here, and average and the name, and also this has right, these things, right? And also yeah, so these things are there, right? So this is how it's simply done, right? Very simple. And two different things now. This is not inheritance, right? So what inheritance does, so let me close this and uh, get a new folder called inheritance. Right. So let me copy the original list1 class here. Let me remove the unwanted things again. And I will change another modification. I will do like not maths, physics, chemistry. I will do like sub 1, sub 2, and sub 3. And set marks will be deleted. And also the, these are deleted. Only this will be kept. Right. Great. So here also I will remove this one. And now these should be changed to sub 1, sub 2, and sub 3. And also, this is required, right? Yeah. So sub 1, sub 2, and sub 3. And this is not required. Yeah, so that's pretty much everything, it seems, for constructor. Yeah. And this also, as I mentioned, no need to, right? Okay, this is all the things that I need to have, right? Okay, so now I'm going to use inheritance to do this, right? To create the unit student class. So earlier, don't get confused. Then කලින් කලේ inheritance කතාවක් නෙවෙයි. කලින් අපි කලේ නිකන්ම දැන්ට තියෙන class එකෙන් අලුත් class එකක් හදපු එක. Right? අලුත් class එකක් හදපු එක. Right? අපි inheritance වල කරන්නේ මොකද්ද? අපිට පුළුවන් මේ දැන්ට තියෙන කියන්නේ අරක වෙන. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒක student එක තිබ්බත් එකයි නැතත් එකයි unit student කියලා වෙනම එකක් අපි හැදුවේ. හදලා run කරලා බැලුවේ. හැබැයි මම මෙතන මෙහෙම දෙයක් කරනවා. මම පොඩ්ඩක් තව පොඩි දෙයක් මෙතන add කළා. මම ඒකත් විතර වෙනස් කරන්න. අපිට සබ්ජෙක්ට්ස් 3ක් තියෙනවානේ. මෙයාගේ මම මේ සබ්ජෙක්ට්ස් 3 දැම්මා මේ විදිහට. sub 1, sub 2, sub 3. Right? Now the thing is, you can see, okay. Right? So this is what I need, right? Okay. So let me now delete these things and have it like a normal thing, right? Okay. Okay. right? Right. So yeah. So what you can do now, right? So I'm going to inherit this, right? So this is called the inheritance, right? I'm going to inherit this. Inherit, right? So this is very important idea, right? So I'm not going to improve the code since the time is not enough, but I will explain what happened, right? So this is called the inheritance. So I mean, earlier what we did was we created two separate classes, but here not. Here we are inheriting unit student class from the student class. I will explain how to do this in the code. Code එකේ මේ inherit කරන කතාව මම පෙන්නන්නම්. හැබැයි දැන් හිතමු අපි physically මෙහෙම inherit කළා කියලා. Inherit කළාම මොකද වෙන්නේ? හැදෙන class එකට අපි කියනවා මම තමයි මෙතන වැදගත්ම topic එක. හැදෙන class එකට අපි කියනවා derived class කියලා. Derived එහෙම නැත්නම් child class කියලා. Derived class එහෙම නැත්නම් child class, right? So we called it derived class or child class, right? So what happens, right? When you're going to inherit a class from an already existing class, what happens is that all the data members, right? All the data members and the member functions will be available in the derived class. Again, if you are going to inherit a class from the derived class, I mean the base class, I mean if you are going to inherit a child class from the parent class, all the members of the parent class will be there available for the the child class as well. මම මෙහෙම කියන්න. අපි parent class එකකින් child class එකක් හදද්දී parent class එකේ තියෙන ඔක්කොම members ලව ඉබේටම යනවා child class එකට inherit වෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ එයාගේ පුතෙක් වගේ. එයාට පවුලෙන් ඒවා ටික උරුම වෙනවා නිකම්ම. අලුතෙන් හදන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. අපි inherit කළොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? උරුම වෙනවා. parent class එකේ තියෙන members ලා කිව්වහම data members, member functions. ඒවා ඉබේටම අරයට හම්බ වෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි student class එකෙන් university student කියන class එක inherit කළා කියලා හිතන්නකෝ, right? inherit කළා කියලා හිතන්නකෝ. එතකොට මොකද වෙන්නේ? university student class එකෙන් object එකක් හදනකොට එයාට name තියෙනවා, sub 1 තියෙනවා, sub 2 තියෙනවා, sub 3 තියෙනවා, average තියෙනවා, cal average තියෙනවා, pin details තියෙනවා ඉබේටම. ඒ කියන්නේ ගෙදර වාහනයක් තියනවා නම් ඔයාලට ඒ වාහනේ use කරන්න පුළුවන් වගේ. ඔයා පුතා නම්. right? එතකොට ඔයා inherit කරොත් ඒකේ තියෙන වාසිය මොකද්ද? inherit කළාට පස්සේ ඉබේටම අලුතෙන් අපි දාන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. name sub 1 sub 2 sub 3 කියලා අලුතෙන් දාන්න ඕනේ. ඒවා ඉබේටම uni student එකේ object එකක් හැදුවොත් එයාලට හම්බ වෙනවා. right? ඒ කියන්නේ ඉබේටම මෙන්න මේ ටික මෙයාට හම්බ වෙනවා ඉබේටම. right? automatically ඒවා ටික එයාට හම්බ වෙනවා. අපි අලුතෙන් හදන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. මොනවද මේ හම්බ වෙන ටික? මෙන්න මේ ටික. එයාට හම්බ වෙනවා. හම්බ වෙන්නේ parent ගෙන්. right? parent ගෙන් inherit වෙනවා මොනවද? මෙන්න මේ ටික name sub 1 sub 2 sub 3 average. ඔය ටික මෙයාට ඉබේම හම්බ වෙනවා මෙයාගෙන්. ඊළඟට තව මෙතන cal average print details. right? ඒවා ඉබේම එයාට හම්බ වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ අපිට තියෙන්නේ එයාට හම්බෙන්නේ නැති වටයක් කියන්නේ sub 4 sub 5, right? GPA. අන්න ඒ ටික අපිට පුළුවන් මෙයාට වෙනම add කරන්න. right මේ විදිහට. මෙයාටම තව තියෙනවා අපිට දාන්න ඕනේ මෙයාගේ නැති ඒවා. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාට වෙනම දෙයක් ගන්න ඕන නම් තමන් ඒක ගන්නවා. ගෙදරින් හම්බෙන්නේ නැත්නම් ඒක වෙනම ඔයා ගන්නවා GPA කියන එක. right? GPA එකයි sorry sub 1 sub 4 sub 5 කියන එක GPA කියන එකයි මෙතනට ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක තම ඕන් ඒවා හැබැයි ඉන්හෙරිට් වෙනවා අර ටික right හරි අපි මේ ටික in detail කතා කරමු next week එකේ දැනට ඔය idea එක තියාගන්න inheritance ගැන අපි මම explain කරන්න මේ ටික මුලින් ඉඳන්ම right දැන් ඉවර කරන්න මොකද 3:30 ටයිම් එක ඉවර හින්දා ඉතුරු ටික අපි ඊළඟ දවසේ බලමු. ඔයාලට මොන හරි දැන් තියනවද මේකෙන් පස්සේ ලෙක්චර් එකක් තියනවානේ. Okay, right. So I will finish it from here, right? So before concluding, if you have any issues or anything to be clarified.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, मैं string library එක කොහොමද add කරගන්නේ අපි program එකකට?
String library එක මොන වගේ වැඩකටද?
සර් මේ assignment එකේ ගානේ name එකට string එක ඕනේනේ.
Assignment 3 එකද?
ඔව්.
Right. මේකද?
ඔව්.
ඒකට library එක ඕනේ නෑ නේද? just string දැම්ම නම් හරි. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ විදිහට
මගේ strings එහෙම මේ compile වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
ඔයා use කරන්නේ මොකක්ද මේ Duc++ එකද?
ඔව්.
ඔයා capital S දාලා තියෙන්නේ?
නැහැ sir.
simple S.
ඔව්.
මේ using namespace std කියන එකක් තියනවද?
ඔව්.
ඒතර එකක් එනවද?
නැහැ sir error එකක් එන්නේ නැහැ. මේ compile වෙනවා run කියන්නේ අර මේ command prompt එක එනවා. ඒ වුණාට මේ කිසිම output එකක් එන්නේ නැහැ.
හරි.
මම ඊට පස්සේ
හරි. බලමු මේ අනිත් අය මොන හරි issues තියනවා නම් ඉන්න නැති අයට issues නැති අය මේ leave වෙන්න මට පොඩ්ඩක් පෙන්වන්න පුළුවන්ද මේ මම screen share කරත් ඔයාලට පෙන්වන්න පුළුවන්ද ඔයාගේ තියෙන issue එක දැන්?
සර් මම mail එකක් දාන්නද?
right ඒත් කමක් නැහැ. mail එකක් දාන්න code එක මම බලලා කියන්නම් එහෙම වුණා.
හරි.
හරි. Okay. Right. Okay, so then others, if you have any issues. Okay, so we will discuss this inheritance topic in detail on next time, right? Okay, so thank you very much and we will meet on next Saturday. Right?